breaking down the deals, data, and disruption shaping global markets. You're listening to The Daily Ledger with Dennis Sert.
Hey folks, it is Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. You're listening to The Daily Ledger Show, and I am your host, Dennis Sert. Great to be here with you tonight. We got some good stories we're going to get into. We're going to talk about Google hacking Bitcoin. Essentially, Google suggests quantum attacks on cryptocurrency encryption may require fewer resources. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Anthropic accidentally releases source code to the world. We're going to talk about how OpenAI raised $122 billion. WhatsApp notifies hundreds of users who installed a fake app made by government spyware maker. SpaceX files confidentially for IPO and mega listing potentially valued at $1.75 trillion, report says. Hasbro says it was hacked and may take several weeks to recover. And what to know about California's executive order on AI. It's probably going to tell us a lot about 2028. Before we get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow if you're on Instagram Reels or TikTok. Share it with all your friends, share it with your family, and let's get right into it. We're going to start with this story here. This was making the rounds. Essentially, Google released this new white paper on they've been working on like quantum computing for kind of a long time, and they recently got this breakthrough where they could attack Bitcoin in transit. So like I'm giving you like, some percentage of one Bitcoin, let's say. They came up with this method where using a quantum computer, it could attack that transit and then steal the Bitcoin that I'm sending you. So we're going to kind of dive into this. I was reading everything about this, and let me tell you exactly what's going on. So here's the thing. In detail, kind of, not too much, but sort of. Bitcoin is very secure, right? Normally, it takes normal computers like till the heat death of the universe, like that long, to be able to crack, your Bitcoin wallet or to be able to decipher and steal your Bitcoin, essentially, right? So just incredibly long amounts of time, theoretically possible, but it's never going to happen, right? The way it works is, I have a public key and I have a private key. The private key allows me to come up with the answer in like less than a second. And then using that answer, I'm able to securely transfer the Bitcoin from, let's say, me to you. But an adversary's job is to be able to figure out that quote answer without having the private key. Now, they'll be able to do it given enough time, but normally the time we're talking about is just way too long to be reasonable, right? Like I said, the heat death of the universe. So that's kind of a long time. So what does Google's new white paper, like, how does that relate to everything that's going on here? So basically, if they have my public key, let's say, right, just getting into cryptography for a second, if they have my public key, they'll essentially, using a quantum computer, Google says they'll be able to use what's called Shor's algorithm, which is like an attack, to essentially decipher and siphon the Bitcoin to their own address or the address that the hacker desires in less time than it takes for the transaction to post onto what's called the mempool. So the way Bitcoin transfers work or transactions work is that, like, someone like me will post a transaction, and then a Bitcoin miner out there will, pick it up, and then within 10 minutes, will essentially verify it, and then um, it will essentially be irreversible after that. So there's like this 10-minute window where a quantum computer could go in and, I guess, using the method that Google was talking about in this paper, would be able to um, quickly post a new transaction after figuring out like the what I'm calling the answer, right? But without the private key, which is something I have. Um, and then basically they would be able to, it kind of it has to do with chance as well. Like a miner has to be able to pick it up, something called a race condition, where either my transaction could finish first or theirs, right? So there's a lot of like probability involved, but basically they have to essentially figure out the answer really quick, snatch it, post their own transaction with my Bitcoin, but to their own address, and then steal that Bitcoin before my transaction completely finishes. So that's kind of what's going on. And in this paper, basically it's saying it takes them 9 minutes to potentially do that with a quantum computer. And the reason why the Bitcoin community got like riled up recently, like the other day, is because it takes 10 minutes on average for that transaction to be verified. So that's kind of what's going on. The other thing is, the popular consensus is that there's no quantum computers out there. It's like quantum computers are theoretical, whatever. I happen to believe that it's not really a belief. It's a belief based in kind of like fact, really, but that there are quantum computers out there, probably in control of the government, or the government rather controls them. Probably something the public will never see, but we don't have to get into that. But yeah, so that's what's going on now. The bottom line is you probably don't have to worry about it. Yeah, like they're basically, from what I understand, modern transactions and modern Bitcoin wallets are a bit more secure than like older wallets back from like 2008. And some of the really old like Bitcoin holders, like from 2008, have they have older methods that are less secure to keep their Bitcoin. And so people are kind of keeping an eye on that. And if like ever their Bitcoin diminishes, then they're like, okay, we'll go tell everyone. But anyways, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, but that's kind of what everyone's been talking about recently. Anyways, let's talk about Anthropic. Anthropic fucked up like a lot. So the story is, on Tuesday, Anthropic pushed out this new software update, okay? But in that software update, they included pretty much their entire source code, which is really, really bad because they're kind of in a pissing match with OpenAI. And OpenAI is no pussy. Like, Altman's not a pussy, right? Like, he kind of just killed the Disney deal from like December, which was like $1 billion, right? Kind of left Disney with their dick in their hand. I mean, that's kind of a ballsy move. I have to tip the cap. Just killed Sora, right? Their video generation platform, because it didn't get enough usage. Like, they're not fucking around either. Like, at first I was like, oh, ha ha ha, like Claude Code is so much better. They'll never lose, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly Altman's like, shit, okay, Code Red. That was like, what, back in November, thereabouts. And then suddenly, oh, Sora, no one's using it. Okay, gone. Disney, sorry, I don't care that you potentially are doing a $1 billion deal with me. It wasn't cash, it was equity, by the way, but whatever. We're gonna kill that by like they're kind of ruthless too. I have to tip the cap. I mean, that's kind of ballsy. Um, yeah, so Anthropic and so OpenAI still has the edge on especially like monthly active users, right? They have like 900 million monthly active users, right? Gemini's still like at 700 million, right? And then Anthropic doesn't have too many, like they're not competitive on that because they don't have a I mean, they do, but they're not competing on the direct to consumer axis, if you will. So they have like 19 million monthly active users, but um, they're more interested in enterprise, right? Which is turns out to be the move because enterprise also includes the government, right? And had had Dario Amodei, CEO of Anthropic, not kind of screwed the pooch and been like, all he had to do was just like accept the offer. Like he really just had to say yes to a couple things, and then Anthropic was going to take the cake. Like Anthropic, thanks to Dario Amodei, literally took defeat out of the jaws of victory. Like, can you believe that? Like, since November, since Claude Code came out, like popular opinion completely shift from OpenAI to Anthropic. It was insane. New York Times, Wall Street Journal, TechCrunch, everyone was like, "Oh my god, even the boomers will learn how to use Claude Code to vibe code." Right? It's like, boomers are idiots. They can't even use their smartphone most of the time. We expect them to start coding, but apparently, Wall Street Journal did, New York Times, and that's how powerful Anthropic was. And then suddenly it's like, oh, like just out of capris, it's like, oh, well, you know what? I'm sorry, I know you're the president of the United States, President Trump, but I kind of don't like winning, so I'm gonna go ahead and not accept this deal for stuff that is totally going on already. Just look at Vault 7. Just look at why Edward Snowden, fled to Russia. Just look at the Samsung smart TVs terms of service 2014. Don't say any confidential things next to your smart TV because it's all being written down and sent to some server. You know what I mean? Google 54 thereabouts, $54 million settled because all the engineers are listening to you. Amazon Alexa 2019 story. It's like, oh, like hundreds of hours of sex listened to by Amazon engineers. It's like, dude, like none of this is new. And then Dario was like, no, I won't do mass domestic surveillance. It's like, fuck you, dude. You just lost the race. Like you literally just lost. And then it's like it's crazy because you know what happened? On Tuesday, like I said, some engineer, it wasn't even AI. Everyone's like, oh my God, like AI hallucinates. Like, I hate AI. AI will never do better than me, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, oh, some guy, apparently, it was human error. Some random dude. Well, when I say some random dude, some random engineer in Anthropic just accidentally releases the source code. Like, it's either you're fucking retarded or you're like a plant for OpenAI, who like a day later raises like $200 billion in cash, right, for their next round. Like, isn't that just like insane? Like, how can you fuck up that bad? Like, it's not even unforced error. I mean, because it is. It's literally, like I said before, taking victory from the jaws of defeat. Or no, the opposite, taking defeat from the jaws of victory. Like, what the actual fuck? And then now they're kind of like scrambling. They're like, oh my god. So this is what I was saying. This is from the Wall Street Journal. This is specifically from an Anthropic spokesperson. This was a release packaging issue caused by human error, not a security breach. We're rolling out measures to prevent this from happening again. It doesn't fucking matter. It happened and it's over. Like normally I'd be like, oh, fire the engineer. Dude, you're cooked. The whole company's gone. Like you just lost. And we're talking about, like, just to give a sense of magnitude here, we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. We're talking about literally over $1 trillion lost if you lose this race with OpenAI, which you're already not technically ahead in both revenue as well as daily active users. But, everyone kind of puts that aside because they've been garnering so much momentum from public sentiment. Oh, with Claude Code. Oh, with government contract. Oh, blah, 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 blah. It's like everyone kind of, puts those really big objective hardcore metrics aside to talk about how like Anthropic's a good boy. And then it's like, oh, unforced error. Oh, sorry about that. I guess we just accidentally revealed our source code. It's like, what the fuck? What? Like, are you retarded? Anthropic took down thousands of GitHub repos trying to yank its leaked source code. A move the company said was an accident. Like at this point, just be like, hey man, like we wanted to, oh man, there's a word I'm looking for specifically, but whatever. Like we want to be liberal. Like we want to like give out our source code because we don't believe in capitalism. Just like give back all the money that investors have put in. Because at this point, it's like, what's the point? It's like, what I mean? Like someone like me could have on Tuesday morning or whatever when this happened. Apparently it happened at like 3 a.m. Eastern time, but it was like someone like me could have just downloaded that thing, had a local copy, and someone, more than one person has done, like, let's call it like thousands of people have done this. And it's just sitting on Anthropic's Claude Code is sitting on their local computer. Like what I have right here, it doesn't matter. Anthropic took down hundreds of or thousands of GitHub repos. GitHub repo doesn't matter. In order to push to a GitHub repo, it has to be pushed from a local machine. So like pretty much like all the hundreds of billions of dollars put into, Anthropic, whatever, tens of billions. It's like, oh, well, the reason why investors and venture capital put that money is sitting in just like some college freshman's local machine in their MacBook Air. It's like, okay, just give up. I'm sorry. Just at this point, just allow OpenAI to just, I'll put it nicely, merge with you. Okay. Like, oh my God. Anthropic issued a takedown notice under U.S. digital copyright law, asking GitHub to take down repositories containing the offending code. Just don't. Just give up. Like with the fuck up this big, you don't deserve it. Like who's gonna give you the cash after? Can you even trust yourself? Like you're a loser. Like you are nothing. You don't deserve $1. OpenAI, not yet public, raises $3 billion from retail investors in monster $122 billion fundraise. OpenAI has closed a deal to raise $122 billion at an $852 billion valuation. Its largest funding round to date, as the company is expected to hit the public markets this year. Yeah. They're not fucking around. No. Not at all. WhatsApp notifies hundreds of users who installed a fake app made by government spyware maker. Here's the thing. A lot of boomers will be like, "Oh, well, you know what? It's because of things like this that I don't use, online banking or whatever." It's like, dude, no, you just don't respond to random ass numbers texting you saying like, "Oh, we found your bank account. Go ahead and verify it here." Like, just don't be retarded. You know what I mean? Like, these people are like, "Oh, well, I don't want the government to know." Everyone already knows. It's like the minute you go on Facebook, just like, ooh, it's like, that Facebook's whole business model is to essentially like map your uh first and last name, photo, where you live to your physical device, and then from after that, you go to any website, like they basically do like a digital handshake with Facebook and they know who you are. Like that's why Facebook is free. You know what I mean? It's like the same people who are like, "Oh no, I can't let the government know who I am." Dude, if you have a Facebook account, if you have any sort of digital footprint, everybody already knows. It's like, what is this fake bullshit? Like, "Oh, I can't let anyone know about me." It's like, okay, well, you just have zero understanding of how the internet works or how capitalism works or anything really. Like, it's just uh ignorance. I hate it so much. It's like, if you're ignorant, just shut the fuck up. Okay? Like, if you're ignorant and you're quiet, that's okay. But if it's like, I have an opinion, it's like, shut the fuck up. Our security team proactively identified around 200 users, primarily in Italy, who we believe may have downloaded this malicious unofficial client. Well, there you go. SpaceX files confidentiality for IPO and mega listing potentially valued at $1.75 trillion. Report says that's how much Anthropic's blunder cost, by the way, because both Anthropic and OpenAI are racing to IPO as well this year. Yeah. So how about that? Apparently, um, these types of filings are done 15 days before the company can start marketing its public shares. So in about 2 weeks, you can probably expect to see perhaps buying SpaceX or at least rumblings around that. Hasbro says it was hacked and it may take several weeks to recover. Everyone's just being hacked. There's another story I didn't even include it. It's like, it's literally what Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum says. Like, I can't do a German accent, but the global cyber attack will make the COVID-19 crisis look like a minor inconvenience. It's like, okay. All right. Well, thanks for telling us what the next COVID is, right? If it's not Iran already. Oops. It's not known what specific kind of cyber attack, such as ransomware, was detected. Oh no. It's like, my Monopoly money though. No. What's to know about California's executive order on AI? Governor Gavin Newsom, a Democrat. Oh, really? Is he? Thanks, New York Times. Issued an order requiring safety and privacy guardrails for AI companies contracting with the state. So I think this is important because, I mean, he's obviously going to be the Democrat front runner in 28, and he's probably going to win. I mean, let's just say it how it is. I mean, it's kind of a shit show right now. And so apparently in this AI executive order in California, there's contractor vetting. So companies vying for government contracts will first have to explain their safety and privacy policies around AI. independence from federal contracting standards. If the federal government designates a company as supply chain risk, which happened to Anthropic, California will conduct its own assessment. Yeah, it's almost like California is gonna secede if it's like a red president, and then if it's blue, oh no, we're back with the U.S. And then it's like ooh, what the fuck? California will conduct its own assessment. Yeah, just why have a federal government, right? Just watermarking requirement. The governor also called on state officials to begin watermarking AI generated or manipulated videos they create. The technique is aimed against guarding the spread of misinformation. Yeah, 28 is going to be run on AI. That's what it's going to be about. And then the Democrats, I can already see it. Bernie Sanders is putting out interviews with talking to Claude, talking about, on CNN. He's like, oh, we need to, put moratoriums on data centers. They're going to be against the AI. And, Trump has already taken the stance of being in bed with Altman and, Omoda, everyone else. Well, recently not Omoda, but, big AI in general and tech. Yeah, so now the liberals are going to run against AI and be like, oh, we're for the little guy. Oh, we're going to, I mean, what are you going to do, right? Because all these firings have already happened. And by 2028, it's like AI will have already gotten like a lot better than it is now. And it's pretty fucking good now, like enough to, kill jobs. So when you think about it logically, there's not a lot that the liberals can do, but that is still what they're going to run on. They're going to be like, oh, no, we're for the little guy. We're going to get your jobs back. AI, we're going to curb AI. It's like, okay, sure. So yeah. So anyways, I think we're going to leave it there for today. Thanks for hopping on tonight, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.